Hey, vinyl community, Jeff here. Do some contests. Got a couple that I want to catch up on, so I'm going to nail out a couple of them right now. First one is for Erimus Alamere. He just hit 1,000 subscribers, as did I, and he's having a contest, which I should do, but haven't yet decided. I've been so busy. I've just been so busy. Hadn't had much time. Hopefully by the end of April, things will drastically slow down. There's been a lot of projects. Anyway, enough of my sad story. He wants to see some things that were influential, things in the VC that influence you to buy, people in the VC that influence you to buy records. And that's kind of why we do this. We show records that we like. We talk about them. We talk them up. Hopefully, you talk them up enough to where maybe somebody else wants to check them out. Maybe you introduce to I get people all the time saying, wow, I didn't even know that band existed. And I do the same thing on other people's videos. Wow, I have never even heard that band. And that's the interesting thing about it is you've got so many people's different tastes and so many people's different knowledge. I mean, we all know about the mainstream bands, but when it comes to other bands, or maybe there's been bands that we've kind of glossed over. That's a case for me a lot where I'm like, yeah, I know who they are. Maybe I've heard a hit here, a song here or there, hasn't really appealed to me. But then you hear somebody else talk about them, and they really talk them up, and they're really, oh, I love this album, and this is why. And you hear a little more detail, then you kind of check them out, and you realize, I'm going to like them too. So that's the influence of the vinyl community. So he wants to see some purchases that you made based on that. So I am going to first start with him. So it's probably been a couple years now, back when he first started doing the whole Tuesday thing, and he'll be playing the Tipsy Tuesday, be playing music in the background. He's playing this album, and I'm like asking, what? Wow, I've never heard of that before. You reminded me a lot of another band, and so I just kind of was like, wow, I never heard of that. I got to check that out. He was talking about it through the whole thing. He's jamming out to it. And so then, lo and behold, he turned around and went ahead and he mailed me a copy of the CD. And we're talking about the Four Horsemen. And this is a 1990s album, a band I never heard of. Remind me a lot of the bluesier side of Helix. The vocal style and everything reminds me of that. So it really appealed to me as I'm listening. It's just like really kind of gritty, fun rock and roll, hard rock and roll, just interesting stuff. And so he sent me this. Now, I appreciate that, and I listened to that, and, rocking on. And then, through the influence of another, so then JC over at Flipside, somewhere in the last year maybe, pointed out, I don't know, it might have been Instagram, might have been on one of the videos, that Four Horsemen had been reissued on vinyl. But I went ahead and scooped it up, and this is kind of a deluxe edition because it's got demo tracks in here that are not on the CD, so you get more than, the whole album. But anyway, yeah, so through the influence of Aaron, who turned me on to this band and sent me this band, I turned around and bought their album because JC pointed out that it was available. Now, another influence of this album, my friend, one of my former bandmates who lives here in town, texted me and said something, and he said, I went and saw the Four Horsemen, or I was going to go see the Four Horsemen in concert. I'm like, the Four Horsemen? This band from the 90s? He goes, no, the Metallica tribute band. Oh, so I mentioned to him about this band, shared a link to it, and about a couple weeks later, he texted me a picture of this CD. He said, dude, I fell in love with that album. It is freaking amazing. So, Aaron, you influenced me, and you influenced my friend. I wish I'd have known he was looking for that, because I could have passed the CD on along since I already had the vinyl. So anyway, I'm going to show one now that he showed also, that Aaron showed also, because... and again, this is JC, this is Josh over at, Flipside. He mentioned this, and I think a bunch of us jumped on board. He sent a copy to Aaron. A lot of people went out and bought it based on, it was like a domino effect, and he showed it, and then people started buying it, and it started getting word around, and it seemed like probably half a dozen people bought this. Leather Duchess, new band, California, just right out of the whole, hair, sleaze, the new wave of traditional sleaze metal type stuff. Great stuff. And so yeah, went out and grabbed a copy of that. Love it, love it. They got new stuff they're working on. I think I saw a new video the other day. This one I mentioned in a video not too long ago. I think it was called The Influence of the Vinyl Community, but New Praptor. This is just one of 3 or so that I showed at that point. Matt over at the Accusation Network, he showed a bunch of stuff. and there were 3 that caught my eye, or 3 that I quickly looked up and found that I would like. This one caught my eye the most. The reason I'm bringing this up is, again, he mentioned this doom metal, he mentioned the word trouble, and he mentioned spiritual lyrics. Now, all of that goes into my cup of tea. So there we are. So there. It's a lot like that. Kind of a sort of kind of trouble-esque. Got some biblical type spiritual lyrics and everything. So I grabbed that recently. Now this next one, this is from Kevin over at he's War God 63, and this was a couple years ago. And I saw him, I think, mention it first, and then I kind of checked him out. Kind of was like, okay, pretty good, whatever. Then I kept hearing more and more people bringing them up. More and more people. This is like some hot new band, and they kept putting out releases through 2019. It was like boom, 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 2020, boom, boom, boom. I was like, what the heck? Every time I turn around, somebody's pointing it out. Kevin was showing where he bought like all 4 of the variant colors. Well, anyway, I was so intrigued by the fact that here's, Kevin and I have a lot of the same taste in music, and here he is really digging this band to the point where he's buying multiple colors, and I'm thinking, okay, I gotta do something about checking that out. And either I don't recall if I ended up buying one first or if I got it in the Metalhead box first. I think I got a copy of it first, because then I think when I got it in the Metalhead box it was a duplicate, or maybe it wasn't, but I don't know. But I'm talking about Haunt and any of their albums. The one that the one that he was showing that I think he got multiple colors of was around the time that this came out, Mind Freeze. So I went ahead and jumped on and grabbed this one. Got it in the Metalhead box, one or the. I think I got it in the Metalhead box also. Anyway, because of Kevin and because of that, I now have that Haunt, and 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 the new album that is in the process, the acoustic album I've already pre-ordered. Now you may ask, how come you don't have the 2 EPs? And that's because they put both of them out on this one album. So I bought this one album rather than that. And so I do have all the recorded material that they have. And anyway, there you go. That's it. I want to stop it at that. So Aaron, congratulations for running across that 1,000 line. You deserve it. You've got some amazing stuff. You have way more records than anybody I know, and you have way more great stuff than I have. So always showing great stuff. Congratulations, and there's my entry, and thanks a lot for watching. Everybody, make sure you check. I'm sure if you like me, you most likely like Aaron. If you don't, the link will be below, because you've got to go check it out. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Rock on and rock hard.